Ladies and gentlemen, we are approaching our station at the entrance to Main Street, USA, gateway to the 7 theme lands of the Magic Kingdom. As you approach the entrance, please keep your party together and have your tickets ready.
Broadcasting live from 38 Studios in Providence, this is the Go Ask Mickey podcast, helping you with the tips, tricks, and the tools needed to save you time and money on your next Disney vacation. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, send them to goaskmickey@gmail.com.
All right, this week on the podcast, Donald and Mickey speak out at Walt Disney World. Disney has a few resorts that are starting to get rough. And Fastpass for Dummies, our 8-step reference guide for the underachievers. We got all that and more coming up next on the Go Ask Mickey podcast. All right, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Go Ask Mickey podcast. My name is Jerry from goaskmickey.com, and joining me, as always, is the effervescent Fast Eddie. Yes, that is a word. On this week's episode, we are discussing the 8 steps of Fastpass for Dummies. It's a reference guide for the underachievers. We'll get into all that because I get a lot of questions on Fast Passes, how to use them, all the details, when I can use them, how often I can use them, how many do I get. So we're going to get into all the details coming up a little later on. First, let's see what's going on in the world.
Good evening. I'm Ron Burgundy, and this is what's happening in your world tonight.
All right, this week in the world today, we have Talking Donald and Minnie at DCA in California. Now, there is a test going on of Talking Donald plus Minnie and Mickey going on at Disney's California Adventure. And this is a guest meet and greet experience. So they are meeting with all 3 of the Mickey, Donald, and Minnie. And you get to meet and talk. They're all talking at the same time. Walt Disney fans are likely familiar with the Talking Mickey that is located backstage at the Town Square Theater at Magic Kingdom. And he's been there for years now. Now, if you've done the Mickey Mouse meet and greet, it's definitely a great experience. It's no other experience in Walt Disney World that is like that Mickey when you get to meet him. Now, Mickey can still be a little bit slow on some of the responses, but some of his interactions can be a little bit awkward as well. But with the 3 characters, they feed off of each other. This is a test going on at Disney California Adventure, and it seems to be going over amazingly well. Now, this type of multi-character setup seems a perfect idea for what's going on nowadays with the technology. It gives a chance for the characters to use their rapport with one another to build into a guest interaction. Now, it draws the guests into a group interaction rather than a one-on-one, and the conversations tend to be a little bit longer and wilder. Like, everybody can get into it. You're talking to one, the other one, apparently I've been hearing that Donald has been stealing the show because of the way he is, his character himself. It's so much better, has a natural flow experience, and the aspects that are totally scripted are a little bit different because they could go off of what you're saying. So the actions and the words are moving together. So it's like one big orchestra. Now, they have some videos out there of the character meet and greets, which are just starting. So hopefully from California, they will move these to Walt Disney World and join Mickey at Town Square. So in all, it's a great experience. And I hope this is a definite rollout for a regular meet and greet in the future, because it will be huge. Based on the tests, the show is excellent. Okay, so there's a possibility of more cast member training, and the back of the house work needs to be done before this is ready for the prime time. And we're very optimistic that Disney California Adventure and Disneyland guests should finally have their own talking characters soon. And they're probably going to send those out to Walt Disney World as well. So that is this week's Donald, Mickey, and Minnie at DCA. Hopefully we'll be traveling to Walt Disney World soon. We'll keep an eye on that one. All right, up next.
Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out?
We have the biggest talked about thing in a while now. They have dogs. The dog policy just got released this past weekend over the dog issue of dog guest at certain resorts. This is a big controversy. Like I saw on the internet, I saw on Twitter, and I saw on Facebook. This thing is blowing up. All right, so before I get into all that controversial garbage, let me just tell you the official word from Disney. Starting October 15th, the first time ever, Walt Disney World Resort will welcome guests and their dogs to 4 of its resorts. Now, the 4 Walt Disney World resorts have been designated dog-friendly. Each property's per night, per room pet cleaning rate is, get Disney Art of Animation. There's a resort fee of $50 a night. Port Orleans Riverside, $50 a night. Disney's Yacht Club, $75 a night. And the cabins at Fort Wilderness Resort are $50 a night. Now, there is a maximum of 2 dogs per guest room can be accommodated. Each guest will have easy access to outdoor pets, walkways for exercise, and green spaces with pet relief areas. Dog lovers find plenty of Disney amenities and special touches with their 4-legged friends. And at check-in, Pluto's welcome kit includes a mat, bowl, pet ID tag, courtesy plastic disposable bags, puppy pads, and dog walking maps. Also included is a do not disturb door hanger indicated to hotel staff that a dog is in the room. Now, this is what you're going to get when you go to this resort, one of these resorts. Disney enjoys a partnership with the Best Friends Pet Care on-property full-service faculty that can provide assistance with pet daycare and other pet services, which fees do apply. Pet merchandise is coming soon to participating resorts, so you can buy a little doggy sweater or whatever you want at the resort shops. While dogs are allowed to stay in guest rooms, they will be expected to be well-behaved, leashed in public resort areas, and properly vaccinated. For more information, blah, 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 dog-friendly trial program, restrictions, policies, blah, blah, blah. Okay, whatever. Let's get into all the garbage of the whole thing. I think this is a terrible idea. I really think this is a bad idea on so many levels. After reading what I've read on Facebook and Twitter and all the other stuff, I come to terms that this is a bad idea. All right, now I want to get into, before I get my comments, I want to do a dog policy, okay? This is what Disney just released the 16th. And they said, here's a big list of dogs. I'm going to put this on our Facebook and Twitter page so you can read it for yourself. But this says, dog policies. Only dogs will be allowed in guest rooms, and there is a limit of 2 dogs per guest room. Guests are responsible for the proper care, behavior, and waste maintenance of their dogs throughout the resort. Picking it up. Dogs must be well behaved and are not allowed on furniture in public areas. Dogs should be supervised at all times while staying at resort property. It should not be left unattended in the guest room for more than 7 hours. Now, dogs should also remain silent if left unattended in the guest room. If noise is heard, You will be called to address the noise within 30 minutes. Yeah, right. Please display the provided Do Not Disturb dog hanger outside your room to alert cast members that dogs are present. Housekeeping guest services in guest rooms with dogs is only available when guests are present. Please dial the housekeeping button on your in-room telephone to schedule cleaning time at your convenience. Please leash or restrain your dogs at all times while in the public spaces on resort property. Only licensed serviced animals are allowed in food and beverage locations, the club, lounge, pool areas, fitness centers, and other public guest areas. Guests with dogs are allowed to use some resort transportation services, including Magical Express minivans. In order to use resort transportation, dogs must remain in pet carriers for the duration of transit. All other resort transportation and public transportations, including Walt Disney World monorails and friendship boats, are not available to guests with licensed service animals only. Are available to guests with licensed service animals only. Sorry. Dogs are not permitted in theme parks and Disney Springs. Only licensed service animals are allowed in these guest areas. Up-to-date vaccines. Vaccination records must be available upon request. All right, that's the last one. So there's that big list of dog policies that they put out the second day. Now, I think this is a terrible idea, and I'm just going to go over a few things on why it's a terrible idea. Number one, kids are scared. Kids are scared of dogs, okay? Not all kids, not all dogs, whatever, but kids are scared. I've seen lots of dogs being, a little aggressive with kids, and I've seen kids being scared to death of dogs. You have a place with lots of kids, and now you're putting dogs around them. Number two is people are irresponsible. You are asking these guests to bring their dogs to the basically hotel room, be sequestered into a hotel room. You can take them out to let them go to the bathroom, but they have to go back in because there's nowhere else technically where you can bring them. Only certain areas, and you're going to be in the parks all day. So people are going to be irresponsible, meaning they're not going to put the dog tag on the door handle to let the housekeeper know that, hey, Fido's in this room. Do not go in there. Well, guess what? They're not going to put the thing on, and the housekeeper is going to go in there, open the door, and who's going to come flying out? The dog. Dog's going to be running around the resort. Who does he chase after? Who does he attack? Who does he bite? Whatever. Not technically, I'm not saying that he's biting people, whatever. All dogs bite, but, every dog is different. So I'm just saying, now you got a dog running around. That's another thing. Number three is allergies. A lot of people were saying on the Facebook that allergies is a huge issue with these dog rooms. Now, yes, they're going to be cleaning. Yes, you're going to be doing all that stuff. But how often are they going to clean the minivans? How often are they going to clean the Magical Express? They're not. My daughter has severe allergies to dogs. So when she's in an area where a dog was or used to be or is or whatever, she has really bad asthma and allergies, which could be bad, could be dangerous for her. Now you're saying, hey, put her on a Magic Express bus next to a dog for a 45-minute ride to wherever you're going. It could be even longer depending on where they're dropped off. So now you're telling me I have to do this, or now I have to go out of my way, pay out of pocket, get an Uber, get whatever, to not do something like this. I think that's a bad idea. Now, yes, the dog's going to be in a pet carrier, fine, but the dander and the allergy of the dog will still go out through the bus. So now, who wins on that situation? Does the dog and the pet owner not allowed on the bus because my daughter has allergies? Are they going to say, no, you have to wait till the next bus? Or are they going to have us wait because we have the allergy issue? So that's a major issue, because I don't want to be pushed aside because somebody else's dog is on the bus. So that's an issue as well. Noise issue. There's a noise problem. It will be a noise problem. You're going to have barking dogs. I'm sorry, but you're going to have to get a hold of somebody in the park because their dog is barking and say, hey, you got to come back and keep your dog quiet. You think people are going to run right back? You got a person that's in the park, they get a phone call, they could either ignore it or come back. By the time they get back, you're talking an hour, it could be, because Disney transportation. So now, you go back to your room wanting to go to sleep, but guess what? You can hear a dog barking. You can't put your kid to sleep because the dog's barking. What's going to happen? The dog doesn't bark at home. Yeah, he's probably going to bark somewhere else because he's not used to those conditions. So, now you got an issue with the barking. Then you also have a flea issue. Dogs have fleas. That's, that goes hand in hand. Dogs have fleas, cats have fleas. I don't want fleas. So when you go to a room, what happens to those fleas? Can you totally guarantee that I'm not going to get fleas in my house because I went to Disney and it's in my luggage? Now I brought my luggage home. Now they're in my house. So these are major issues that I saw on Facebook of what people were thinking of possibilities that could happen. And then you have dog bites. Dogs bite. They don't bite you, yes, because you're the owner. You feed them. So dogs bite, I don't care what you say. And that's part of another issue that you could be sued. Disney could be sued, whatever. There's so many bad things about this. I mean, this is just some of the things that I read on Facebook, and I wrote them all down. So technically, they're not necessarily my ideas, but I can understand people's point of views as far as how they do this. Now, on the other hand, people are saying, well, Universal Orlando has dog-friendly rooms, and it works fine. They don't have any problems. They're on the first floor. It works great. That's great. It works. So maybe this is where Disney got their idea. Who knows? But if it works, then it'll be great. But a lot of people are worried about these issues at Disney as well. My thing was, I didn't understand why they decided to do Riverside. They did Riverside, but across the street from Riverside, there is a dog daycare. It's a kennel. It's a dog kennel. I'm not sure on the name of it right now, but it's a kennel. It's for people. You want to bring your dog to Disney, you can do that. Just leave it at the kennel. So now it's actually cheaper, I think, from what I was reading, that it's cheaper to stay at that kennel across the street from Riverside than it is to bring your dog in your room. So I don't know. To me, I don't understand the concept of, people love their dogs and they will take their dogs everywhere. But you're taking your dog to a hotel room. You're locking him in that hotel room. You're going all day in the parks, most of the day. A percentage of your day is going to be spent away from that dog. You come back, that dog will be there. Great. You're going to sleep. Dogs are going to sleep. You're going to wake up and you're going to do the same thing again. So I don't understand the concept of now you have something else to do, which is walk the dog, feed the dog, take care of the dog, get ready, go to the parks. I don't understand that concept. This might not work at all because people might realize, well, this is more work than what it's worth to bring, Snowball with me to wherever because he's not allowed anywhere. But you're going to find people are going to be bringing their dogs to the pool. People are going to be bringing their dogs into the food courts. You're going to see that. That's what happens. People think that they could take their dog and do whatever they want with their dog. And who's going to stop them? Cast members are going to say, hey, don't do that. All right. And then they'll go to wherever. But people will do it. They'll push the system. That's I've seen it 1,000 times. So, what do you think about this? I could go on and on about this thing, but those were the main points that I saw on Facebook and on Twitter just this past weekend. There's probably more points that I'm missing. If there are, let me know. Go to the Facebook page at Go Ask Mickey Podcast, and the Twitter at GoAskMickey1, and let me know. Let me know what you think. If there's any ideas that I missed, throw me a shout out. Who knows? But, I mean, if it works, it works. That's great. But a lot of people are upset because now Riverside is a very popular resort, and people are not going to want to go to that resort now, being the fact that it's a dog-friendly resort. So, we'll see. That is it for this week's news. That was a lot. Let me know what you think, and we will be right back with the Fastpass for Dummies, the 8-step reference guide for the underachievers. We'll be right back after this.
You're listening to the Go Ask Mickey podcast.
All right, welcome back. Yeah, that was a rough one. The dog thing is a huge controversial issue going on. If you check out the Facebook page or Twitter, you go anywhere and you'll see thousands of comments on people, going back and forth. So it's a big thing. All right, enough of that. Let's get into the Fastpass Plus for Dummies. Now, when you're planning a Walt Disney World vacation for your family, there's a lot of variables. Now, take into consideration the Fastpass system helps you to maneuver through the crowds. It also allows you to have less wait times as well as the convenience to ride more rides. Now, this week, we want to take a look at how to use the Fastpass system and using it and how to make it work for you. So, I'm going to get into all the details on that in a minute. Now, I receive a ton of questions about the Fastpass Plus system. And this week, I want to just dissect all the moving parts of this system to get the most out of it. Now, there's so many different variables on this issue that we kind of blocked them into 8. All right, so we got 8 parts of this little guide. Now, first, I want to talk a little bit about the system itself, the old Fastpass system, which was first rolled out, I believe it was 1999. Yay, Prince. And it was designed to lessen the wait times at the popular attractions. Now, I had no advanced reservation systems, so it had no advanced reservation system. So guests would race to the Fastpass kiosk to get a paper Fastpass to secure a spot on the ride. So you had people screwing and running and it was a dash. I remember years ago, people would just, as soon as they opened that gate, boom, people were hauling butt, trying to go to the kiosk, grabbing as many of those tickets as you could. And by the time you got there, if you got there like 20 minutes late, they were all gone. You were out of luck, buddy. So this is an upgrade version of that. The new system, which is a bit more complicated, which allows for advanced planning and opens up more rides than the old legacy system. Now, this new system, it's a little bit more complicated because it has to deal with technology part. But we're going to break it down in little sections. We have 8 sections for you. So, number 1, we're going to be going by purchasing park tickets. Now, you purchase a park admission, and a Fastpass Plus is included in the price of the admission for every ticket you purchase. So, you're going to get 3 Fastpasses for every ticket you have. Okay? They're giving it to you. So you buy a ticket for that day, wherever you bought it, Magic Kingdom, let's say Magic Kingdom. You get 3 Fastpasses for that day. Okay. Number 2 is a Fastpass reservations. Now, reservations can be made in advance, and there is no more running for the guests. You can relax and take your time to get to your attractions. You don't have to run to the kiosk and knock over little granny and, whatever. So resort hotel guests can reserve Fastpasses up to 60 days in advance, while off-site guests can do so at 30 days in advance. Now, I believe you could do 60 plus 10, which means you have a 10-day vacation. Say you have a 10-day vacation. You can, on your 60th day, you can reserve 10 days out. Okay, you can't reserve 11 days out. You can only reserve 10 days. So it's a 60 plus 10. Same with off-site. If you're an off-site guest, you can do 30 days, and on that 30th day, you can reserve 10 days from that point. So you're technically getting 40 days, but you're doing it on the 30-day mark. So what happens is at 60-day mark, the fast passes for that next few days or your first few days of your vacation are going to be a little bit more scarce than the ones at the end of your vacation. So the hard-to-get rides like the Seven Dwarfs and your Space Mountain, all those hard-to-get fast passes are going to be a little bit more available at the end of your vacation than at the beginning. Just that's the way it goes, because you can further away you go, the less people have reserved at that point. So, what we got? Number 2. Okay, number 3. My Disney Experience. This is an app that you can download on your iPhone, on your Android, wherever. Or you can go, if you don't have a phone, what technology, but whatever. If you don't have a phone, you can go to the website and you can sign in and get an account through Disney's website for My Disney Experience. So, the FastPass Plus reservations can be made using the MDE app or the website, only after creating an account. So you have to go in, you have to create an account, you can put your name, all the garbage, and you have to create an account. Then you have to link your reservation. So this, My Disney Experience or the Disney website, has to know that you're staying at a resort. This is how they know. So you have that reservation, you have a reservation number, you plug that into your MDE, My Disney Experience, and it will say, okay, you're here at this day, you can make FastPass reservations on such and such a date, 60 days from. So, I'll put a link in the show notes on all these, the apps and My Disney Experience in the website. Number 4, we have the FastPass Plus kiosks. Now, they still have kiosks throughout the parks. But for those of you who buy a ticket when you arrive at the parks, or someone who needs to change their reservations, you want to change a reservation that you already have, you can, each park has a number of kiosk machines located throughout the parks, so at which you can make or change any reservation. So, but beware, the lines can be long, so you're going to stand in line to get out of another line. Does that make sense? Yeah, okay. But beware, lines can be long and the rides can be limited, so you're not going to get those really hard to get rides like the Seven Dwarfs or wherever. It's going to be harder to get those rides through the kiosks because most of them have already been taken from the people who did it on their phones or whatever. So, keep that in mind when you're going through, if you don't have that technology, you're going to have to go wait in line at a kiosk, set up your 3 fast passes for what you want, and then go from there. Okay? We're going to take a quick break. We've been a lot of stuff going on this weekend, so we're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back with the next 4 of the 8 Fast Pass Plus for Dummies, a reference guide for the underachiever. We'll be right back after this.
Bud Light presents Real Men of Genius.
Real
Today we salute you, Mr. Tiny Dog Clothing Manufacturer.
Mr. Tiny Dog Clothing Manufacturer.
Great men ask the tough questions. Where did we come from? What is gravity? How do you help a schnauzer through a fashion crisis?
Smashing fashion.
You see no irony in designing a thick fur coat for an animal born with a thick fur coat.
It's warm in here.
A dog licking himself? Disgusting. A dog licking himself in an Argyle sweater? Adorable.
Smooch on that pooch.
So crack open an ice cold Bud Light, oh purveyor of the pooch. They may be just dumb animals, but thanks to you, they'll always be smartly dressed.
Mr. Tiny Dog Clothing Manufacturer.
Bud Light Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
All right, we are back. And, okay, we were on number 5. Yes, we are hitting number 5. And number 5 is the Fastpass experiences. Now, this system works the same way as the old legacy system. Each Fastpass comes with a window of time that you are allowed to ride the attraction. So you're given a time, 1:30 in the afternoon or whatever, and you have like an hour to ride that ride. When you arrive at the ride, in the time frame, you can enter through the Fastpass queue. Very simple. They have a line, regular line, a standby line, and you have a Fastpass line. So if you have a Fastpass for that attraction, you go through the Fastpass line. Simple. Number 6. This one I get a lot is, do I need a magic band? No, you don't, but I suggest you do. You can use the Fastpass Plus without buying a magic band. The old paper tickets have been replaced by the newer technology of the RFID, which is the radio frequency thing. And it comes in a magic band or a hard ticket. So it's like a little credit card. Magic bands are just more convenient, but they are not required. So you don't need one to get around. You can use that key to the world card or the credit card thing that they give you to get all your stuff, so you swipe that card to get your fast passes, and you can use it to get to your room. You can use it for all that stuff. You don't need the the magic band to get that. So you don't need that. So they charge you, I think it's like $20 to $30 for a magic band, and they last a couple of years. You can reuse them for like 2 years or so before the batteries. They have little batteries inside of them that do, burn out after a couple of years. So, number 7. Oh, how many fast passes will I receive? Yes, you can receive a ton of them, but you are given 3 at one time. So you get 3 when you get your ticket. You buy a ticket at the park, you get your 3 fast passes. You can go to a kiosk, get your 3 fast passes for any of those rides. But after using the 3 initial fast passes for that day, you can now select another one. And after you use that one, you can select another one. And so on and so on and so on and so on. Based on the availability. You might not get really good rides. There might not be stuff available. But you can get a fast pass for something. There will always be something. So this can all be done at the kiosk or on your MDE app or on the website, wherever. But I would suggest doing it on the MDE app, because what happens is you use the 3rd one. As soon as you use that 3rd fast pass for the day, you are allowed to get another one. So once you get in that fast pass line, you hit, say you have a magic band, you tap your magic band, you're standing in the line, you can now start looking for another fast pass somewhere else before you even started riding that attraction that you're at. So it's a pretty cool thing. You could do it. It's an immediate thing, and you could get right on it. So what I do suggest, if you don't find anything initially, when you start looking, keep hitting refresh. Keep hitting refresh. Sometimes something pops up. It's just a matter of just patience and just Keep hit refresh, hit refresh, hit refresh. Then if you find something that you want, get it. Then you can go in after and switch the times. Okay? So that's how it works. So you're allowed after, and then after you ride that one that you just got, after your fourth one, you can get another one. And that works the same way. Just keep hitting refresh and you'll grab something. Where were we? Sorry. Number 8. Now, how they have a tier system. And how does the tier system work? Well, the tier system is that Disney limits the combination of Fastpass Plus reservations you can have, which prevents guests from using it on all the headliner attractions. Okay? What that means is they cut you off. You are not allowed to get the most popular rides. The ones with the longest lines, you cannot get more than one of. So that's what they're limiting you. For example, Epcot offers 1 Tier 1 attraction and 2 Tier 2 attractions. Now on Tier 1, there's a list, and it's usually Test Track. I believe it's Test Track, Frozen, or Soaring. And those are your 3 options you can pick from Tier 1. You pick one of those, and then you're allowed to pick from Tier 2, which is Nemo or... what else is over there? I can't think right now. Crush, all these different attractions that you could pick on the Tier 2. So, it gives you those options for those rides. So, it kind of stinks because you're only allowed the one. Say you pick Soarin', now you got to wait in line at Frozen, or you got to wait in line at Test Track. So, that kind of stinks. But... that's how they limit you from getting a Test Track, a Soarin', and a Frozen, because then everybody would do it, and then the Fast Pass line would be huge. Oh yeah, forget about Spaceship Earth. That's one of my favorites. All right. So, those are part of the tiered system. So, that basically sums up all the Fast Pass system, Fast Pass Plus system, up to date. So that's the technology they're using. Now you can use your MDE not only for the fast passes, but you can get food with it now. So they're expanding that system just one step further with getting your food as well. So that's what I call Fast Food Pass. So that's the next step. And you can do it with your phone or app, the MDE app, which allows you to get a minivan if you want transportation. It's allowed you to get, the Disney Uber, shall I say, the minivan service. So that works for you. And that sums up the whole issue of the Fast Pass system. If you have any questions you want answered, send them on over to goaskmickey.com and let me know what you think of this. And we will be right back to close out the show right after this. All right, everybody, those are the words for this week. I'd like to thank you all for tuning in. From all of us here at 38 Studios, we appreciate you listening to the show. So if you could, check us out on Facebook, check us out on Twitter, where else on Instagram. Thank you for downloading. If you could, subscribe to us on iTunes and over at Stitcher and TuneIn Radio and iHeartRadio. You can check us out over there. So please, and if you could, share the show. That's all we ask. And until next time, Disney Nation.
Head on over to goaskmickey.com or check us out on Facebook or leave us a review on iTunes.